Hello, my dear fourth graders. Mrs. Wilson here, coming to you with another writing lesson from my living room. So last time we talked about presenting information in a cause and effect or problem and solution format, and today we will actually be doing our research. But before we send you into the computer lab, I wanted to share with you guys a few ideas and a few ways in which you will find research a little bit more helpful. So informational writers collect information for subtopics that need a little bit more information. Those are your topics that you wrote as much as you could about it, but it just still isn't enough information in there, so you needed to do a little bit of research. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do research. You can go to the library and research from a book. You could go and interview a person. Another way that you could do research is to find magazine articles, and those you can find either online through websites and blogs, or you can find them in the library again. My sources, unfortunately, were not ones that I could find in the library, so I had to resort to the internet. Do as much as you can with books and things from our library, and then go to the internet last, because the internet is such a vast source of information that you have to sift through quite a bit, and you have to be very specific in your search, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you're going to be hit with a lot more on the internet. Okay, I'll show you next how I did my research work with my chapter 2, which was on my many legends. Enjoy. Alright, you guys, so my topic for chapter 2 was the many legends, and I really only knew of one legend that I have been told growing up. So what I did is I went on Google and I typed in the search engine the Bulgarian legends of Baba Marta, and what I found were many websites, and after searching through a couple of them, I found the two that I knew I was going to stick with. So take a look at on the next page where you will see how the two sources that I found and the notes that I took down, and I'll point out to you a couple of things in my notes. Alright, so on my research page, I started taking notes on my yellow pad. So on that page on the top, I wrote down research page, and I knew that I was going to be researching the legends, and as soon as I decided on my two sources that I was going to use information from, I wrote down the source, the actual website address from where I got my information on the first article. So I wrote down the source, and then I started taking notes on the specifics of the legend, about Hannes Baruch, and the specific details as to the animal that was used to find from his sister to find him in a distant land. After that, you guys will notice that a little bit further down the page, I have a second source, and I have written down right next to that the website that I got the information from, and underneath you will see many notes again on the specific of a different legend and how his sister found him, but it was through a different animal. It was through a falcon this time. It wasn't through a dove. And I also knew about the one with the dog myself. So these were the two legends that were new to me that I decided to include in my source. Alright, you guys, so as you saw, I kind of had a plan in mind before I started doing the research. I had a brand new page in my yellow pad that I had titled Research Page, and I had written down my topic that I was going to research, which was the legends of Baba Marta. And I had a plan in mind. I knew that I was looking for at least one or two different legends that I wasn't familiar with that I wanted to include in my report. So when I was sitting down in front of a computer, all I had to do was start typing the engine and then start typing the topic that I was researching. And then I knew that I would have to sift through several articles to find out what was going to be most helpful for me. So you guys will have to do the same. You'll have to have a plan before you go down to the computer lab, know exactly what you're going to research, and then start taking notes down. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is why is it important that I wrote down the source where I got all of this information from? You know, somebody had to spend the time to write those articles that I just used information from. And it is a courteous and legal to give them credit for the fact that they have done all of that work. So what you guys will have to do is the same thing. You want to give credit to the person that wrote down the book or the article or wherever you found your information from in your book as well. What that is called when you cite someone else's work and you admit that it wasn't you who found this information originally, you are giving them credit for it. But when you cite their work, it is called a bibliography. So you will be creating a bibliography page of your book where you will list the title of the book where you found information from if you used a book, or you would be listing the website and the author of the article, or the blog where you found the information yourself. It's only fair, and it's actually illegal if you present someone else's information as yours. It's called plagiarism. So please remember that you are going to need to cite where you got the information from. Now, what I found was a really cool website that is called BibMe, which is short for bibliography, BibMe. And you can type in the book title or the magazine article or the website, and it will automatically create a correct citing for that website or that book on a paper. And then you can download it and have a list of all of the articles and magazines and sources that you found information from. I'll show you next how you guys will do that, okay? Enjoy. All right, you guys, you should be writing down this website right into your yellow pads before you go down to the computer lab or start doing research, because when you go to the computer lab, when you type the bibme.org, that will be where you will be adding your titles and everything to create your bibliography page. So when you go on bibme.org, what you're going to see is the website, and you have several colorful tabs on there that show books, magazines, newspaper, website, journal, film, or other. Whatever your source was, then you would click on that tab. Mine was website, so you will see website as the orange background on there. All right, you guys, so you will see the box where you need to type in your website, where you found your information, or book, or whatever it is that you found. Type it in, then click Find Website. Yours might say Find Book, Find Magazine, Find Newspaper, and so on. Mine was the website of Dauntless Jaunter. I got the address and typed it in. Then you have to click on the button that says Find Website. All the way at the bottom, you will find the green button, Continue to Final Step. That will take you to the website information page and author's name. You will need to press Add to My Bibliography button at the bottom of that page. Then it'll take you to another window where it will ask you to register, but it is very quick and easy. You will need an email address, however. Once you register, on the right side of your screen, you will find all of your articles, websites, and books listed. You will need to click on the download to Word icon right underneath all of those articles and magazines and things. And then voila, you will have a bibliography page that you can just include and attach to your book. All right, you guys, so now it is your turn. Go ahead and take a look at your chapters. Try and figure out which ones were ones that you're going to need to do a little bit of research on. Decide how you're going to do your research, if you're going to go to the library to try and find books and magazine articles that way, or if you're going to do it on the internet. Make a plan for how you're going to find your information and go for it. If you're going for the internet, you can use either way. If you're going for the internet or the books, you will be using the bibme.org website, where you can create your bibliography page, where you're going to give all of the people who wrote the books and the articles credit for writing them at the end of your book. You can still take notes on all of those parts of the books or articles and the information for you to use in your writing, but you need to make sure that you give them credit. Okay, good luck, have fun, and happy writing.